Hi, welcome back to Holmes Yoga. I'm Alex, and today we are going to be working on some yoga with a chair. So, chair yoga, if you will. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's an easier practice. The chair is a wonderful prop to add stability. So if balance is a little bit more challenging for you and you don't necessarily have access to a wall, a chair is a great household item to work with. So we're actually going to begin by sitting at the edge of the chair and take your feet slightly wider apart so that you can very easily feel your heels on the ground. Slide your hands a little further back on your thighs so that your shoulders can slide back, and then place your head right on top of your spine. Close your eyes for a moment and just take 3 nice easy breaths in and out. Now pressing into your sitting bones as if you were standing on 2 tiny little feet, and feel your spine lengthen up. Go ahead and interlace your hands right at the very, very top of your head. So now with that feedback of the weight of your hands against your head, you have something to push into. And then from there, you're gonna laterally flex or bend sideways and just tipping your elbow towards the floor. So as you actively squeeze one side, the other side will lengthen. And then lifting up through center, soften the shoulders and jaw, and then squeezing the other side of your waist. And inhale, coming back to center. And let's just go back and forth a couple more times. And still maintaining both sitting bones rooting evenly into the chair. So doing a sequence like this is also going to be great if you have to take lunch at your desk and you only have like 15 minutes to practice. Don't have to change, don't have to leave. And back to center. And then keep pressing the top of your head up into your hands. This time you're going to rotate, so twisting now to one side. Inhale through center and rotate to the other side. So keeping your lower body pretty stable by pressing your sitting bones down into the chair. And the next time you twist to your left, you're going to stay. You can take the back of your hand against the inside of your knee, reach back and grab hold of your chair. Look over your shoulder. Keep twisting your belly button to your left. A couple more breaths here. So you actually pull against the chair to go a tiny bit deeper, and then reinforce that action from your core. On your next inhale, unwind and simply twist to the other side. Back of the hand to the inside of the knee. Pull against the chair, twist, twist, twist. You're getting a little bit more engagement through your arms when you pull against the chair in this way. On your next inhale, come through center. So I'll show a side view of this. Your feet are still wide. Take that nice long spine, hinge forward. So now as you press into your feet, you should get some really nice connection to your quads and also to your glutes. You can reach for the floor, you can touch the floor and come back up and maybe reach your arms to the sky. Hinge forward, touch the floor, press into your heels, come back up and reach to the sky. All right, so we'll do this a few times. This is nice for building a little bit of heat in the body and really also working on the proper mechanics that you need to easily stand up and sit down from the chair. So we'll just do this 3 more times. 3, 2, 1, hover. And so first take your hands to your thighs, squeeze your shoulders back, and then interlace your hands again on top of your head. So now you've got, again, something to press into, but with the added weight of your arms, it's going to make this pose quite a bit more challenging. Squeeze shoulder blades onto the back, lift your belly button away from the floor. Legs are working hard here. Keep shifting forward, press your head into your hands, press your head into your hands so much, shift forward. Maybe that allows you to come all the way up to stand. Lower your arms down by your sides, bend your knees, stick your bottom out, reach your arms forward. So you have a little bit of counterweight, and coming up to sit, tap your sitting bones to the chair, and coming back up to stand. So if the chair feels really far for you, if you've got anything going on in your knees or hips, which makes this deep flexion difficult for you, just go as low as you can and then come back up to stand. You don't need to go all the way back to the chair. So we'll do 3 more times. 3. And back up, and 2. So typically you need to lean a little bit further forward than you think you have to, right? 2, And last one, reach, reach, reach. Sitting up nice and tall and coming all the way up to stand and lower. Okay, so straddle your feet pretty wide apart. Turn your right toes to point underneath the chair. Reach your arms out to the sides, hinge at the hips, and then take your hand to the seat. If that feels a little bit too far away, you can always take your hand to rest at the top of the chair. So working on triangle pose here, drawing the shoulder blade onto the back. Lengthen your spine from tail to crown, right? So that same feeling of reaching your head up against your hands. And then turn your head to whatever direction feels best for your neck. Typically we look up towards the top hand. If that causes you stress or tension in the neck, you can keep your head neutral or even look down towards the chair. Now if you actively press your right hand down into the chair, you're going to get a very similar connection and engagement through the right side of the waist as you did earlier on in this pose. Okay? So a few more breaths here. Legs are strong, pressing through the inner and outer edges of the feet equally. One more breath. Ground down through your legs, pull into your center, and come all the way up to stand. Release the arms, parallel your feet, and then step your feet together. So you can move the chair to the other side, or you can simply turn around. Separate your feet a comfortable distance apart, doesn't have to be super wide, right? Stand evenly, and then reach your arms out to the sides. Hug muscle to bone, and as you reach for the top of the chair, this side of the pelvis slides under. You can either, again, rest your hand at the top or the seat, finding your triangle pose here. And then find that push from these muscles in the left side waist. Push your hand down into the seat. You might even feel your left foot get lighter on the floor. Turn your head to whatever direction feels best for your neck. Feel that rod of energy across the upper back. Pay attention to how your legs and feet are working. 3 more breaths. And ground down through the legs and bring yourself up to stand. Parallel your feet, step them together. And then this time turn to face your chair. So straddle your feet to the outsides of the legs of the chair. Take your hands to your pelvis and stand tall. I'm going to ask you to bend your knees and then widen your knees so you have as much weight in the outer edges of your feet as the inner edges of your feet. Stick your bottom out, hinge forward, and take your hands to the seat of the chair. And then find an appropriate distance for you. If the chair is a little too close, it's probably easier to move your feet back than to move the chair forward. We're going to twist here. So take your left hand to the center of the seat, your right hand to your hip to start, and then twist. Now as you twist to the right, that left shoulder is going to want to roll forward. So draw the shoulder blade on the back, keep your left collarbone wide, turn your belly, and then if you'd like triangle pose, you can extend that right arm up. If it causes you any tension in your neck to look up towards your top hand, just look straight ahead, no problem. Try to keep both hip points looking towards the floor, pressing through the outer edges of the feet as much as the inner edges of the feet. Hug the legs towards each other. 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, unwind. Your right hand replaces your left hand. Start to turn your belly to the left. Try to keep your pelvis fairly square. Twist, twist, twist. And then reach up, pushing down into the chair. Lengthen your spine, reaching up through your top hand. And on your next inhale, unwind. Take your hands to the seat. Step your feet together and walk them back so you're actually at a chair plank here. And then you're going to, from your chair plank, pull your right knee to your navel. So try not to tuck around, just pull knee to navel so you feel that deep hip flexion. And then kick your right foot forward and hover your foot up above the floor. Should be a lot of core engagement here. Squeeze your heel to your sitting bone. Inhale, step back to plank. Exhale, left knee to navel, hover your foot above the floor. Inhale, kick your heel to your sitting bone, step back to plank. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale. Inhale, plank, hands pushing down, ribs lifting away from the seat. And then step your right foot all the way down to the ground. Now you can walk your hands up to the top of the chair, push your feet apart, work here, or you can come all the way up. Reach your arms straight out in front of you, or perhaps all the way up by your ears. Doesn't have to be a huge, wide stance in order to get the benefit of the lunge. Couple more breaths here. And then take your hands back to the seat. Squeeze your right heel to your sitting bone. Step back to plank pose. Second side. Pull your left knee to your navel. Kick your foot forward. Hover your foot above the floor and then place it down. Push your feet away from each other. Take your hands first to the top of the chair so you can get a little bit more extension through your spine. And then lifting all the way up. Arms can stay out in front of you. Plug your arm bones back or reach your arms up by your ears. Tongue off the roof of the mouth. Nice even breath. 2 more breaths. And then take your hands to the seat. Squeeze your heel to your sitting bone. Step back. So we can add some push-ups here at the chair. Taking your chest towards the seat. We'll just do 3 more. 2. Last 1. And then pull your hips back if you need to walk your feet in a little bit more. Get a nice big opening through the backs of the legs. This might be a really nice stretch through the upper body as well. This is downward facing dog with your hands at the chair instead of on the floor. And then walk yourself forward. And this time, turn the chair around so you've got the back of the chair handy. And you can do 2 things. You can have the chair in front of you and use it like a bar, or you can stand so that just one hand is easily able to reach the chair. We're going to come into tree pose. So place your foot anywhere along the inside of the leg that makes sense for you, and use the top of the chair for balance. And if you want to test your balance a little bit more, you can just hover your hand above the chair. You can kind of touch and go. Or maybe take both hands to your pelvis, knowing that the chair is there should you need it. Really working pretty hard through the standing leg. Lengthen through both sides of the waist. Couple more breaths here. And then release. Simply turn around to do the other side. Or you can move the chair to the other side. So standing with the legs together, right? The chair is a comfortable distance away from you, so you can very easily reach it. And then use your hand to help the opposite leg. So the leg that's away from the chair, farther away from the chair, is the one that will lift into tree pose. And then again, play with your balance. All right, so it can be just like a nice confidence booster to have the chair there. Right, if you're feeling pretty steady on your standing leg, you can hover or take both hands to your pelvis. A few more breaths here. And if you really want to challenge your balance, you can also close your eyes. Ooh, that makes it quite a bit harder. And then release. Okay, so coming back around, have a seat at the very, very edge of your chair and walk your feet all the way together. Take your left hand to your thigh, take your right arm by your ear, then as you exhale, twist your elbow to the outside of the knee and find twisted chair here. So in this position, you might get a little bit more opening across the shoulder blades on the top of the shoulder. Lengthen from head to tail. And you are using a little bit of leverage here. Top hand pushing into bottom hand, your elbow pressing into the outside of your thigh. 1 more breath. And then unwind and simply come into the second side. Lengthen, create space, and then into the space that you make, find a twist. And on your next inhale, unwind. Reach both hands for the back of the chair. Step your right foot slightly further out, your left foot underneath the chair to get a thigh stretch. You're going to actually reach your thigh forward and down as you reach your chest up and back. So you're kind of pulling back against the chair and pressing your thigh away. So a nice seated thigh stretch and hip opener. And then you're simply going to step switch the feet. sitting up nice and tall. Rest your hands on your thighs for a moment. Close your eyes. Feel your tall, upright posture. Feel the stability of the chair, of the ground. Just take a moment to be still, to be quiet, to really feel the effects of your practice. Connect to center, bring your palms together in front of your heart, and as you bow to your heart, I bow to you. Thank you so much for practicing. I hope that was helpful. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe. If you'd like to practice together, I'm teaching on Instagram Live every Monday at 5 p.m. That might change in the future, but for now, that's the public offering that I have. And let me know if you have any questions or comments, and see you next time.